Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Soulful Conversations. Thanks for being here. And it is my delight to share with you my dear beloved friend, Leticia Gimeno, who's based in Miami. Um, she is the mother of four beautiful, beautiful family. She's an influencer on Instagram, a nutritionist, life coach, podcast host, and so welcome, Letty. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Like I always say, I'm a huge fan of yours and of
Oops.
myself and to be a better version of myself. So yeah, I like to talk to you all the time, and this is a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, let me ask you the first question then. It's like just listing everything that you do and how busy you are. And yet you always maintain this beautiful sense of self and your good state of being. How do you manage that? How do you manage being the mother of four young ones, and doing everything else you do in terms of your purpose, your coaching, your podcasting? How do you do that?
uh, I guess that I've always wanted to be a mom since I was very little. I love babies and learning from kids. It's always been like my passion. So when I became a mom, I discovered that it was not only about having fun, but also about being responsible and about being conscious about what I was doing. So that's when I started 16 years ago, like my journey of self-discovery. I went through hell and back, and in the way I found myself, which I think was essential for me. And now that I found myself and I know how to deal with situations, and especially I know how to be the best version of myself for my kids, for them to understand what life is really about. I think I get strength from that, and my main aim is to help people understand that you can go through hell and also be happy, because life is full of constant different feelings, because sometimes you can feel happy but sad at the same time, and I didn't know that that was possible. And now that I found that out, I just want to share it with the world. Social media gave me the chance to do that, and I love podcasting. That's why I do a podcast, because I love listening to podcasts, and they're also like a tool to help me understand myself. And yeah, you've helped me a lot too with breathing. I didn't know that something as easy as breathing could ground us that much. So I guess I like to spread the message, and that's what I do. Because I think everyone deserves the chance to be not happy all the time, because I don't think we're happy all the time, but to be in oneself all the time, and like to know what you're doing and be conscious of what you're doing.
Yeah, beautifully said. So let's talk a little about your work with social media, because a lot of people in this group, who might be watching this or listening to this, are coaches. They have a sense of they're healers. They have a sense of purpose and mission. Yet, and I relate to this. Whenever we think about either marketing ourselves or promoting ourselves, or getting on social media, is like immediate shutdown. It's like, I don't want to do that. I just want to be doing my work, my healing work. And yet I know that that's part of it. That's part of the mission too, is getting the message out there. So what words of wisdom, you who are so naturally, well, at least from my perception, um, naturally adept at social media, you've got hundreds of thousands of followers. How do you do that? What can you say that would be supportive?
uh, I would say that for me, creating content is a way of expressing myself. When I started in the social media world, it wasn't what it is now. It can be a scary place right now. I also feel that, but I see content creation as an art. For me, it's a way to understand how people are expressing themselves and the way they want to transmit their vision. So I guess like I want to transmit mine. What you see is exactly who I am. And I just want to share it, because a lot of my relatives, a lot of the people I know were like, you're so positive and you have so much to always say and to spread and to share, that you should use social media as a tool for that. So I see it as a tool to spread my word, and I'm just myself. I
Well,
mean,
I can vouch for that. That's one of the things that I always notice in your posts, is in your videos, whether you're making it's a new smoothie or something. You weave in your kids, which I know is your top passion. There's always music and dance and laughter
yeah.
involved. It's you like you're obviously having fun.
Yeah, no, that's what we do. I mean, we do that even if I'm not filming it, because obviously I can't. I wish I could sometimes, film more parts of our lives, but I don't have time. Because when I'm like with my kids, I want to be present with them. But yeah, I just want to transmit that that thing, no, that you can go through all of the stages in your life, and you can live through hell, but it's still worthy, and you can still make the best of it. I also started social media as a way to, as a diary for my family, like for them to know how they're growing up, how life is treating them, like all the different stages in life. I wanted them to see that also we live away from our families. So it was also a way to show like the people we love the most, our family, instead of WhatsApping everyone whole day long, like how are you, how are the kids, like it was a more general way. And then I opened my page and people started liking it, but it's still like more or less, there are parts of it that it's not like a diary for my family, of course not. But most of it, like the text I write, they're always directed to my kids because I want them to read them in the future. The videos I do about them, they are for them. They're not for the rest. I mean, the rest of the people might enjoy them because you see that joy, hope, and the good side of life and everything, but they are for them. So I guess I put all my heart and all my love in that, and people can feel it too.
Yeah, yeah, that really comes across. Tell us a little bit about your work with the nutrition, and for somebody who like is resonating with this zest and this passion and this authenticity that comes out of you. Uh, Somebody who wants to work with you, how do you work with
Oh,
clients?
okay. Like with me is curious because my like interest in nutrition and food and how food really affects us and what how important it is in our life and in our health started actually with an eating disorder. So I used to have the worst relationship with food. I was afraid of eating. I punished myself for eating. I went through anorexia and bulimia and a lot of issues with food. And until I understood that food was not my enemy, everything was very hard. But then when I decided that it was actually not my enemy, but my friend, I wanted to know everything about it. So I started studying about food and the consequences of what we eat, how food can really be our medicine. I started discovering also something that I think is very basic to know since you're born, but they don't teach us these things. Where food comes from, how food is produced, everything around the industry of food, nutrition, how it gets to our plates, everything. So I became a vegan. That pushed me to study nutrition because it was not just me, but my family's health too. And I think that when you shift or you make a change as big as this one, you need to do it right. And I wanted to do it right. So I studied nutrition, I became a health coach. And I've always been studying since then because for me it's fascinating. And learning how my enemy is now like my best friend and the way that I can heal people through food, because sometimes we don't think that's possible, but that's actually possible. It's a passion of mine, and that's why I share all my recipes and what I do with my clients too. Like, you don't have to see food as a burden in your life or as an obsession in your life or as a monster in your life, because some people are really, really afraid of food, or they treat it like a super important part of their lives when it's just one part of our
Right.
life. So I guess that with everything I learned, with all the tools that I worked with, I helped them shift their conception about food. I turned it more into something healing, medical, something that can make you feel your best. And yeah, like share my tools, what worked for me literally, and turn it into that. And also help them, to understand more nutrition basis, food combining, how to be a vegan if someone wants to turn into a vegan too. But you don't have to be vegan. I can also help people that are not vegan. I work with a lot of people that are not vegan. But yeah, it's mainly through my own experience.
Great. And we have a link below to your podcast.
Yeah.
And anybody who wants to work with you, we can also, just reach out to us in the Facebook group, and we'll put you in touch.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Um, One other question I wanted to get into, because I think it's so exciting. Tell us a little bit about this portal, this holistic consciousness portal that that you're bringing into Spain.
Yeah. So, some friends, two friends of mine, and I had this feeling that in Spain, like culturally, mental health was not important. I mean, it was, but it was just like something else. So we wanted to create more conscious about that, and we wanted to create something where people could freely be part of our community to heal, where we're all making like events all the time, meditations, yoga, breath works, all kind of different things. Because this, I learned this from you, Christian. Actually, the more tools you have, the more you can learn how to, process your feelings and find your answers, and don't get just stuck in a thing. So we want to offer the world, well, firstly Spain, because I think it's a little bit slower in that, but it's for everyone. It's an international thing for sure, to help people understand that there's not just one way to do things. And yeah, we offer like a lot of holistic different options in the portal. The events are happening in Spain like twice a month, and we do a lot of community things like chats, lives, Zooms, like to connect with people who are interested in learning more about this, and yeah, spreading the message that we can actually heal ourselves if we really want to. It's not that
Beautiful.
difficult.
And what is are you doing live event in Madrid already?
Yeah, yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
And
We've
tell
done a
us
bunch.
the website for the
It's
portal.
tipcommunity.com.
TIP.
Yeah, yeah. And well, actually, the web is now under refreshment, but you can find it also in Tip Well on Instagram, and they're always like announcing like the events, the chats, the lives, the Zooms, everything that is going on. They're letting us know in there,
Beautiful.
which is pretty cool.
Any you and I could talk for hours and have.
Yeah, I know.
So, but we're intentionally keeping these short and sweet, just to give people a taste of these amazing soulful heroes that are part of this community. So as we wrap up our time together, any final words for anybody who's watching this and who has been feeling that call to step into or step more fully into their work as a teacher, as a healer in these most critical times
Yeah.
that we're going through?
Um, I would tell them like go in, all in. You have to let go of whatever is not allowing you to be yourself. And if you have a calling, like it's because you need to know. And sometimes it's gonna be difficult. Don't think it's easy. We all go through phases or moments of our lives that we really don't like to relieve. But you have to relieve it to relieve it. And it's the only way it works, because no one taught us how to do that, so we need to learn. And I think that the only way to learn is through, and we can heal ourselves, and why not in the way you can also learn to heal others, which is pretty cool.
Thank you. Beautiful.
No,
Um,
thank you.
Thank you, Letty, for sharing your beauty and your wisdom, and your passion with us. I'll see you when I'm in Miami next week.
Of course, can't
Um,
wait.
and thank you, everybody, for sharing this conversation with us. Share it with your friend, with a friend, if you think they could benefit from it. And if you would like to be interviewed for a soulful conversation, just reach out to me or to Marjorie. And have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much for having me. Love you so much.